How about them Cowboys today? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. So, how about them Cowboys today? More importantly, how about Dak Prescott today? Did he look on? Like, hey, you know what? Forget that interception that he threw to Eddie Jackson. That was a bad read, I know. You take that away. Did he look on? Like, he looked really on today. And, like, I would like to point out that, this Cowboy run defense might honestly be dog crap. But thanks to our still relentless pass rush and our offense with Kellen Moore starting to look like they might be humming, as long as we can keep this up, carrying over to the rest of this year, thanks to that, it didn't really matter. Gave up the most rushing yards by far we've given up all year, and it didn't matter. The Cowboys exploded anyway, and we won 49-29. I did say, by the way, that we would get a defensive touchdown, and we got a defensive touchdown. Now, as far as my prediction saying 28-3. Yeah, I almost got the 28 right if I predicted that for the opponent. Here's the thing. I actually was thinking about this earlier in the week after I saw that game between Justin Fields and the Bears on Monday night. And I was honestly contemplating that our defense might struggle in this game. The number one rushing attack in the NFL. And after that, they're still the number one rushing attack in the NFL. And I was like, yeah, we might struggle on defense. I know we've been great all year, second in the league in points allowed. And after that game, I can assure you that we are going to probably drop. And looking at how the, scoring defenses in the NFL right now have not exactly been like wide open, we might have a pretty far drop, giving up, that many points. So, but it doesn't matter. A win's a win. I don't really care about statistics that much, at least. But I did kind of think about this during the week, and I'm like, and I was going to say 34-27 like during the week, but then I was watching a bunch of Law Nation stuff, Mark Holmes, CFT, Undisputed. I was watching all of that, and they were basically almost like trying to persuade me to change my thought process on Justin Fields and the Bears offense, because they were like, yeah, Justin Fields may have scored 33 points against the Patriots, but we ain't the Patriots. Somebody replied to my comment on CFT Cowboys Fan Talk chat, and I pointed that out in his live stream when I made that comment in the chat, and some lady, Tada Boys or whatever, she replied to my comment saying, we ain't the Patriots though. So, and I was hearing all this other stuff and whatever, and I was just thinking, basically they were persuading me to change my answer. So that's why I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're about to put the clamps on Justin Fields in the Bears offense. Justin Fields not going to be able to do a dang thing. You know? I said Cowboys are going to hold him to 3 points, a field goal, no touchdown. You know? And because of my stupidity of listening to all these Cowboy fans telling me that Justin Fields really ain't like that. And we're not the Patriots as well. So you saying that the Bears are going to score 27 points on our defense? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, so I believed them. I took their word for it. And so that's why I made my prediction last night saying 28-3. I should have just stuck with 34-27. Well, we won 49-29 and wound up putting a beat down on the Bears, and it was thanks to our offense. At the same time, I should have given the Bears offense and Justin Fields a whole lot more credit than I ended up giving them. Because I took Cowboys fans' word for it. I wanted to vibe with my buddies and everything, and just, what they say, I'm gonna, follow them too. Well, I shouldn't have, because clearly I was way off on my prediction, saying that our defense was gonna hold them to a field goal. Golly. I mean, it's okay, because apparently it just shows that, we struggle against teams with mobile quarterbacks. Like, yeah, we have, our run defense is questionable, but what we do against mobile quarterbacks, quarterbacks who can run, Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields today, we struggle against those type of quarterbacks defensively, and that's where teams get a lot of their rushing yards from. Teams that have mobile quarterbacks that can help out with that running game, and that's basically kind of what it came down to. The Bears have Justin Fields the same way that the Eagles have Jalen Hurts, and we kind of struggle against mobile quarterbacks is what I'm seeing. But when we're going up against pocket passes like Matthew Stafford, yeah, it's headhunting time. Nonetheless, we got our usual 4 sacks though, like always. I thought it was going to be 7, and I'll be quite honest with you. I was very surprised how the Bears still were committing to the running game, because I thought to myself, okay, we stop them on defense. We already are up 7-0. We're about to get the ball back on offense. Let's score again now. More points on the board. We make this a 14-0 game. It's up. It's up. I had no freaking clue whatsoever that the Bears would still keep that same commitment to the running game. I was very surprised. I was very shocked how they still committed to the running game despite being down 14-0. And then at one point they were down 28-7, which was the largest deficit that they wound up, what wound up being the largest deficit that they faced for the whole game. And they were still running the football. And I'm thinking to myself, golly, man, me and my father were talking about how much if we can get a jump on these guys and force Justin Fields to beat us, then we're gonna win this game, because we get a jump on them, they're gonna start throwing the football, trying to catch up, And that's where we're at our best when they're playing our game, where our front four can just go after the quarterback, go after Fields and whatever. Well, clearly I was surprised how they continued to commit to the running game and they stayed patient. You know, they stayed patient all the way up until Tony Pollard had that rushing touchdown that kind of broke the Bears' back. So, and Tony Pollard, shout out to Tony Pollard, man. 14 carries, 131 yards. Shout out to him. You know, like, at the end of the day, we understand what type of runner he is. He is still that Barry Sanders type of running back, you know, like a guy who, yeah, maybe he'll lose yards sometimes on a running play, like he did, of course, early in the game when he had a run where he had a loss of 5, but he'll make up for that by having like a long home run hitter like he did today for a rushing touchdown that broke the Bears' back. But do I see him being our franchise running back? At the end of the day, unfortunately, that's not my decision. That's the organization's decision on whether they want to keep Pollard and let Ezekiel Elliott go, or if they want to keep Ezekiel Elliott and let Pollard go. That's their decision, not mine. Me personally, though, I love having a Mack truck kind of running back like Ezekiel Elliott. That's why I want us to find some way to keep him around and don't have to let him go. Because I love that, you know, Mack truck type of running back on our team. You know? So I would love for us to keep Ezekiel Elliott because of that. We let him go, who's going to be that guy who we can depend on in short yardage situations? You know, Pollard, at times he was dependable, but not consistently like Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I mean? So I don't know what we're going to be doing with that in the off season, but let's not worry about that. Let's worry about right now, the present time now, with us still having these two running backs while we still can. You know, because I don't know if we'll be able to hang on to both of them after this season is over. So we need to enjoy ourselves and enjoy the time while we still do, with having Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott still in that backfield. Zeke will be back for the Green Bay game. I am happy that he did not play today, because that's what I was afraid of, is that he would play. That's why I made my prediction. I said that he would have 12 carries, 44 yards. And I should have made a backup plan, because just in case Ezekiel Elliott does get rested, I should have made a prediction for Malik Davis. Malik Davis wound up finishing with 8 carries, 23 yards. So, not bad, not bad. We wound up finishing the day with like around 6.5 yards per carry, I believe. And we had 200 yards rushing total. So clearly the running game, it looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit. You know, you see, we didn't have this last year. Last year, by this point of the season, when we were 6-2, after getting our teeth kicked in by Denver, our running game kind of faded away, and it was all about Dak in the passing game on offense after that, because the running game wasn't as dependable after that. So this year, with us being 6-2 now, we actually have confidence through and through the rest of the year as far as the running game is concerned offensively. The running game defensively, I have my doubts. But hopefully Dan Quinn can get this team, this defense, and get them together. And, you know, in the second half of the season, hopefully we can actually make some adjustments as far as stopping the run, because clearly we couldn't today. But Nonetheless, we won the game. Offense looked great. Kellen Moore looked great calling the game. And I know there's gonna be, before I get out of here, there's gonna be a lot of like talk questions about why we decided to for try to be so aggressive, with 40 seconds left in the half and having a 28-14 lead. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about that and why we were so aggressive trying to, do what we did. Me personally, I loved it because I was literally thinking that, if anything, I was actually going to be upset if they would have kneeled down and just went into halftime. At the time, at least, that's what I was thinking. But in my head, and what I was thinking after the Bears scored that touchdown was, hey, we got 40 seconds, we got one timeout, we got the best quarterback in the NFL as far as 2-minute drill. Let's go. Let's score some more points before half. Make this a 31-14 game at the least before halftime. So I loved the idea of them doing what they did, but unfortunately it just didn't work out that way. Dak made a bad read. Didn't see Eddie Jackson there over the top. The ball got intercepted, and fortunately the defense held them to a field goal. And I just want to say, shout out to Anthony Brown, because without him breaking up that pass of Equanimous St. Brown, then the Bears would have made it a 28-21 game. And remember how the second half, they opened the second half with a touchdown, I believe. Well, if they got that touchdown with Equanimous St. Brown, it would have been 28-28, and who knows how that game would have gone had that have been the case. But because we didn't trail at any point in that game, that allowed us to keep ourselves a little relaxed and just play our kind of ball. So shout out to Anthony Brown for that pass breakup, because if he doesn't make that, then I don't even know. But, it is what it is. But I thought the defense showed some cracks in their defense today. But I think we'll be fine. I think, today was just one of those games where we just couldn't contain Justin Fields. But if you couldn't contain Justin Fields, I don't understand why you weren't I don't know why you didn't have Anthony Barr or something on a QB spy, making sure he doesn't go off and run for a ton of yards. But, that was our biggest issue. But with that being said, we almost allowed our first 100-yard rusher of the season. But fortunately, Khalil Herbert, he had 99 yards rushing. 99. So not quite 100. But nonetheless, a win is a win. Offense looked pretty dang good. I did get one of my predictions right when I said that the defense would get a defensive touchdown. And I also got one prediction right when I said D-Law would get a sack today, because he hasn't gotten one in a while. And I felt like now would be a really good time to get home for another sack. So he did, and we had 4 total on the game. I believe Dante Fowler got one, Jaron Kearse got one, and Osa Odigizua got the other one. So we didn't quite get 7, but we got 4, and I'm happy with that. So that has been my time. Like, subscribe. This is NFL Thoughts. Out. And how about them Cowboys?